Welcome to the Wonderware Interactive Webinar Series, helping you see more clearly. The business case is Upgrade to InTouch 2012 R2. I will briefly discuss the history of InTouch, moving on to an explanation of the product life cycle, to enable you to have a full understanding of how your systems are supported. As some of you may be on older versions of InTouch, I will cover significant enhancements since version 7.11 and benefits to the business, and what's new in 2012 R2. Continuing on to 10 reasons to upgrade, reviewing Security Central, then working through a short demo upgrading an InTouch version 10 application to 2012 R2, and concluding with a brief summary. For the past 25 years, Wonderware InTouch has been the world's #1 HMI. The InTouch software is an open and extensible supervisory HMI and SCADA solution. It's renowned for its ease of use, brilliant graphics, and unsurpassed connectivity, which is not proprietary, utilising the DA servers, enabling connectivity to a wide variety of devices and systems. Wonderware are continually updating InTouch to meet the demands and requirements of the marketplace, and the policy of support has changed to reflect this. The earlier policy of support was current version and one prior to current version, but this has been replaced with support for a minimum of 5 years from the product date of general availability, with continuing care to the product's end of life. Date of general availability. This is the date InTouch completes development and is released to the customers. For example, InTouch version 9.5 has a date of general availability of September 2005. Mainstream support. As shown on the image, it's the first phase in the product support lifecycle. It's from the date of general availability and continues for 3 years. As part of this support phase, we offer the following services: technical assistance on issues and inquiries via existing support programs, patches and service packs. We address product issues, also support critical operating system security updates, looking at Security Central on WDN on the wonderware.com website. Ability to request hotfixes, and then extended support. Extended support continues on after mainstream support for a further 2 years. And again, we provide technical assistance on issues and inquiries, ability to request hotfixes, to address product issues, support possibly limited for critical operating system security updates. This is only limited because of the age of the operating system, the version, and also maybe the version of InTouch as well. If it's an older version, then it can become more of an issue to provide any security updates for the older versions. And then looking at mature product support, this is the final phase of the product support lifecycle. This continues on until product retirement. Technical assistance normally involves basic issue diagnostics using the available database of technical knowledge. If the issue has been resolved in a more current InTouch version, then you will be advised to upgrade to resolve the issue. If you require extended support, we do offer a custom support package, but this requires negotiation between yourself and your Wonderware account manager. In InTouch version 8, the Alarm DB Logger Manager, Purge Archive Utility, and Alarm Database Restore Utility were first introduced, as well as the Alarm Viewer Control and Alarm DB View Control. Now, in earlier versions, such as version 8, it also included 2 security models, operating system-based and orchestra-based, and introduces a change network account utility, which enables you to change the domain or local machine name, username and password. InTouch version 8 is actually the first Orchestra-enabled version of InTouch which integrates with Application Server. Now, looking at other enhancements since version 7.11, as you can see there's an image of the old Orchestra graphics. This has now changed, the old smart symbols in InTouch. This has now changed and has been superseded with the Orchestra graphics. Now, just looking at version 9, additional flash one alarm controls in the alarm viewer X control were introduced. New script function to notify users of password expiration and also to redirect remote references and display InTouch versions, to name a few. Version 9.5, we saw the advanced alarm analysis. This includes retrieving alarms faster and configure two-node alarm hot backup. InTouch HMI version 10 is an enhancement of traditional InTouch. This is where we will start seeing the changes with introducing Orchestra graphics. As stated previously, it provides a more tightly integrated connection with the Wonderware Orchestra environment, enabling the use of centrally managed applications and Orchestra graphics. It also includes a button to launch the IDE from Application Manager, and the appearance of Application Manager window has been updated to current Microsoft standards. Window Maker includes a new hierarchical project view that lists the windows and scripts. Enhancements are also made to the alarm viewer control. Runtime language switching, such as alarm comments, can be switched to another language while an application is running, and multi-monitor enhancements. In addition, the terminal server capacity is increased to a maximum of 75 simultaneous InTouch client sessions. InTouch HMI version 10.1 further develops version 10 with new features such as new .NET controls, which provide higher flexible trending and alarm management capabilities and enable a single application to be created and then reused by personnel around the world. So what's new in InTouch 2012 and 2012 R2? InTouch 2012 and 2012 R2 delivers improved performance by smart cache memory management. This easily controls memory usage, memory limits, and priority of window availability. Now, Orchestra graphic improvements as well. Orchestra graphic draw times are 20% faster and use 15% less memory. And automatic CPU core balancing. This delivers faster session response from remote desktop sessions. Now, also with 2012 and 2012 R2, you have a single installation DVD to install the core products under a system platform, and this includes InTouch. Also, FS Gateway is automatically installed for OPC connectivity. Higher engineering and operator productivity. Now, this is achieved by maintaining aspect ratios regardless of the development machine's resolution. Also, new Windows thumbnail preview to easily view windows. There's a show graphics script function launches Orchestra graphics in a pop-up window. Synchronize all online blink animations to reduce operator eye strain. And new close window button to quickly close the windows. There's also a get window name script function to easily manage the open window attributes such as size, colour and position. And then there's also a new runtime tag viewer to allow direct runtime access to the tag name dictionary to reduce application development time. There's improved screen response using new memory caching options for show symbol and show script functions. This is actually available in 2012 R2. The later versions of InTouch support the latest database technology from Microsoft. 2012 R2 supports the 64-bit versions of SQL Server. Microsoft SQL Server 2012 both 32 and 64-bit, and Microsoft SQL Express 2008 SP2 both 32 and 64-bit, with SQL Server Management Studio Express also supported with the later version of InTouch. As part of the InTouch installation, SQL Server Express will be installed if SQL Server is not detected. With the later version of InTouch, centrally managed InTouch applications, you can, in the new Wonderware Development Studio 2012 R2, it allows centralized management of InTouch R2 runtime applications via the Orchestra IDE. So you can manage, change and deploy InTouch 2012 R2 applications from your desktop via the enterprise network. This will enable you to standardize your application and be more efficient during development. This release is the first HMI to support Microsoft Hyper-V, VMware's vSphere version 5 and EXXi version 5 for disaster recovery, high availability and fault tolerance applications. It also supports Microsoft's new remote desktop services, formerly terminal services. This enables you to utilize multiple computer monitors and handle higher performance through load balancing across multiple terminal servers, taking advantage of CPU core balancing. Also supports the latest mobile platform from Microsoft Windows 7 Embedded, enabling mobile users to also use InTouch 2012 R2 applications. InTouch 2012 R2 provides wider support for ever stronger security technologies, looking at Microsoft Smart Card authentication, increases operator security and lowers the risk of unauthorized access. Also, Orchestra security, that's been further developed. Microsoft Remote Services, which I touched on before, this limits access to only certain applications, not the entire desktop. And also delivers the log-on current user InTouch script function, which works in tandem with Orchestra security for configuring operating system groups and user security modes. Now looking at 10 reasons to upgrade. Product support. Whilst we will try and do all we can to support customers with older versions of InTouch, there may be times that we are unable to help and resolutions could be available in later releases. Looking at operator system support. If your hardware fails, replacing the unit usually includes a later operating system and uses the existing InTouch version on a later operating system may result in an unsupported configuration. Now, information can be found on the operating system matrix on wonderware.com website, and also looking at moving to later operating systems, you can reduce security hold and utilise Security Central, also found on the WDN area of the wonderware.com website. Hardware support. Now, in the unlikely event you can obtain an old operating system, there can be still an issue that the older versions of InTouch have never been tested on the latest hardware CPUs. For example, InTouch 7.11 isn't supported on multi-core CPUs. Enhancing or modifying your application. Expertise becomes difficult to find, and system interface may be more costly when changing your application if it's an older version. Now, enhanced functionality. As InTouch has evolved throughout the years, it has gained lots of extra functionality. For example, IO failover is now built in, and there is a new Orchestra graphics package which I mentioned briefly before. You can also take advantage of other improvements, such as multi-monitor support. Improvements to NAB make application development more efficient. You can use the latest DA servers. In order to communicate to the latest PLCs, you will require the later DA servers. These newer DA servers may not always be compatible with older versions of InTouch, and indeed your I/O server license may actually not license the later DA servers. Also, to look at removing obsolete communications, older versions relied on BDE to communicate. This now is obsolete and has been replaced by OTC and SweetLink. Improvements to licensing. Older licenses usually included a parallel port dongle, but new PCs do not come with parallel ports. As part of the upgrade, you can request a key-to-keyless exchange or change the parallel key to a USB key. Integration to other products. That's another area to just be aware of. It cannot be guaranteed that later Wonderware systems on part of a plant will integrate with existing Wonderware products. For example, if you move to Historian version 10, that cannot actually import tags from version 7 InTouch application. And take advantage of the new technologies. As mentioned previously, later versions of InTouch are supported in virtual environments. Now, as shown in the table, you can upgrade InTouch directly from version 10 SP2. However, if you have installed InTouch 2012 R2 on a clean system following the release notes, then you can migrate an InTouch application as old as version 7.11 patch 7. After installing 2012 R2, following the release notes, you can start the Orchestra IDE. So let's just move from here. And we'll just have a look at a short demo. So if we go to Start All Programs, down to Wonderware, and here you'll have the Orchestra IDE, or if we go the more classic way to open and edit an InTouch application, we'll select InTouch Application Manager. Now normally, if you're using the older versions of InTouch, you will open up Window Maker and do your development there. You now have the Orchestra IDE button, which launches the IDE straight from Application Manager. So I'll just click on that. And the Connect to Galaxy dialog box will appear. Now, a Galaxy is a shell or container for all your objects, Windows, templates, and Orchestra graphics. Now, you need to create a new Galaxy and give a Galaxy name. So if you just go to New Galaxy, and if you provide a name there, now you can select the Galaxy type, and you have 4 here. Now, because it's going to just be an InTouch application, we'll use the base InTouch type. But you will also notice here that as part of the installation, it will also give you the reactor demo, so you can actually see the Orchestra graphics and nuance using the traditional reactor demo, so that's been updated. I've already got a Galaxy here, so I'll just connect to that. Right, okay. Now, there are lots of things that are new if you're familiar with the IDE, but for the purposes of this demo, I will just show importing a version 10 standalone InTouch application and some of the new features of 2012 R2. So, in the Template Toolbox, select the InTouch View app, okay, and right-click and select New and Derived Template. Okay, so we'll just call that demo. Right, so if we just double click on that, we want to import an existing InTouch application, so we'll just find this. Click next, and next again. Okay, and we've just selected to migrate that. So it's migrated from version 10 to 2012 R2. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so we just take back up of the application. Now this will start Window Maker. Right, so our version 10 application has now been migrated to version 2012 R2 through the Artificial IDE. Now here, I will just show you some of the new features in 2012 R2. As you can see, we still have the original smart symbols. However, you can select the embed Artificial Graphic button. So this is a new button here to access all the artificial graphics available in your Galaxy. So there we go, so there's a graphic toolbox which you saw in the IDE, and you can select any of the new artificial graphics. Okay. With later versions of InTouch, you can utilise the project view, which lists the windows and scripts. And a new feature of 2012 is you can hover over the window name to show a thumbnail preview of the window. This enables engineers to easily identify a window and reduce some of their development time. Another new feature of 2012 is the smart caching of windows. Now this is found in the window viewer properties. So if we just go to Configure, Special Configure, Window Viewer. Now here you'll see there are a number of new tabs from the earlier versions of InTouch. And if we just go over to the viewer memory, now this enabling these settings here will prevent Window Viewer running out of memory. So it's just a way of using your memory management. And also you can look at the Advanced Format tab. Now these are global settings at runtime to specify the decimal point behaviour. And another feature of 2012 R2, by selecting Tag Viewer, so let me just go here, right, so we're going to show Tag Viewer on the menu bar at runtime, and also we're going to enable Tag Viewer here. I'll just change the access. Okay. Now, the Tag Viewer is enables you to look at really the tag name dictionary details at runtime, and then you can change tags, update tags, and do all at runtime rather than switching between the two. Okay, so if we just go into runtime. So on the special menu, there we go, we've got Tag Viewer. And this lists all your tags, the values. So if they're not a read-only tag, and you can change the tag, then you can change its value and type at runtime. Okay, right, that just concludes that short demonstration. So we'll just go back to the PowerPoint presentation. Okay. Right, looking at the benefits of Wonderware support, why use us for support? Wonderware customer support includes post-sales technical assistance, problem resolution, all software updates, patch management and ongoing software and technical knowledge and management. Wonderware support helps companies to leverage their existing software investment and makes recommendations related to best industry practices. In addition to assisting our broad range of customers, we help our system integrators provide secure, industrial strength applications using the Microsoft platforms. Now, benefits of using our training: save valuable time on projects, so get it right the first time round, and see your return on your investment, so stay within the man-hours allocated for the project. Increase your confidence in using the software, so avoid ad hoc approaches, sort of trial and error approaches really, and maximise on the functionality within the product, and do more for your customers. Network with other trainees as well. We have a large user base out there. So if you're wanting to widen your knowledge, we have InTouch training courses. We've got the Essentials of InTouch Part 1, it's a 4-day course. Essentials of InTouch Part 2, 3-day course. InTouch for System Platform, 2-day course. And InTouch version 10 with Orchestra Graphics. Okay, in summary, InTouch HMI has evolved significantly since 10.1 and prior versions. Support for older versions is increasingly limited and can be more expensive. Delaying upgrades can lead to unforeseen costs such as unplanned downtime. An upgrade into InTouch 2012 R2 results in superior technological advantages, full integration with the latest Orchestra system platform, support of new Microsoft technologies, and full access to product support. Now, if you're looking for more webinars to increase your knowledge, stretch resources, lighten load with managed services. Now that's on the 19th of February. Terminal services best practice deployment on the 26th of February. The future of Wonderware technology 2013 is on the 7th of March. MES quality next generation on the 21st of March. Doing reports 4.5 is on the 26th of March, and reducing the true cost of energy consumption in manufacturing, that's on the 17th of April. Thank you.